That's all I got. Hold on, that's all I got. We gonna stomp him out.
I get cheese by the pound, this is not Parmesan. I'm smoking broccoli, counting up lettuce, in love with the Glock. I think I got a fetish. Kush in my pocket, this shit hella smelly. Little Caesar, my Glock, get that bitch hot and ready. Finna be summer, go pull out the shirts and go pull out the shovels and water the dirt. Niggas been so-called looking for me for a half a nigga, I'm popping them first. If you my bitch, then you gotta be pretty and with it like babe, put the Glock in your purse. I get cheese by the pound, this
Ground. Still got big bite now on truck. Yo, big on my dick on her mouth. You a crazy boy, go get your bag. I win this life boy a lot. I feel the buzz with crazy truck. Bitch, I don't live on the ground. Still got big bite.
Whole lot of rain. Whole lot of that water dripping out the ceiling. Oh my God. Boy, he got a Glock. Oh my God.
Love the sneaky shit that we do, That boy's a liar. That boy's a liar. Love the sneaky shit that we do, That boy's a liar. That boy's a liar. Love the sneaky shit that we do, That boy's a liar. That boy's a liar.
Talking that fresh shit, I don't need gum. Cookie crumbs in the rolls, never know we crumbs. He ain't talked to his bitch in 3 days. It ain't gotta be this way. I'm down for the threesome. I might buy a boat. Depends if Capri got space, don't really need one. I could go in the wintertime, baby, I need some. Find another nigga like me, cause I ain't seen none. Pull up in that, whatchamacallit. Played a couple demos at Madison Square Garden. And tell them motherfuckers that Sony I'm not calling. I'm plotting on the Billy Chili in my garden.
I got murder on my mind. AK-47s, Mac 11s, Glocks and 9s, and all these pussy niggas trying to knock me off my grind.
I'll tell you now what I'm about to do to your stubborn, annoying little planet. I'm gonna enjoy it very, very much. I could do like ice in the sun. Think I'm rocking that nigga a dummy. Think I'm a
Yeah. Last low, we go Cosby. That's how you know I'm with them Cosby. Yeah, I keep stacking bills like I'm Cosby. You said you tryna feel, they don't cross me. Hey, Cosby. Too many in the cash, I'm flexing. Yeah, I'm gone.
They see me blowing up, now they say they want some. I got 2 twin Glocks, turn you to a dancer. I see 2 twin eyes, leaving one a band up.
Beef for me, yeah. Who got beef for me? 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 I got niggas in the streets through 7 years for me. Yeah, kill for me. R.I.P. beef for me. Yeah.
Consuming all the air inside my lungs, ripping all the skin from off my bones. I'm prepared to sacrifice my life. I would gladly do it twice.
Daddy P810.
Oh, please have mercy on me. Take it easy on my heart, even though you're going to hurt me.
Daddy P810.
It's a warning.
Oh my god. And I said, watch me.
हेलो एवरीवन, चलिए आज मैं आपको बताती हूं कि एसएससी सीजीएल क्या है। और बहुत सारे बच्चे जो अभी 12th पास करके निकले हैं, जो सीजीएल की तैयारी करना चाहते हैं, या फिर जो ग्रेजुएट्स हो चुके हैं और अब तैयारी में कूद ही रहे हैं, उनको थोड़ा सा मैं डिटेल में बता दूं कि भाई इसमें क्वालिफिकेशन क्या चाहिए, एज लिमिट, एग्जाम पैटर्न, सिलेबस, फिजिकल रिक्वायरमेंट, सैलरी, पावर एंड प्रमोशन।
Mariner, with Castillo only seeming to improve and get better as the years progress. So far in 2023, he's picked up right where he left off from 2022, throwing the most innings on the team, has the lowest ERA in the rotation with under 3, all while putting up great strikeout numbers. He's nasty, but that isn't all. George Kirby has practically the same amount of innings as Castillo with an ERA a little over 3. He's doing great, getting the job done. Logan Gilbert, another mid-20s starter, is doing pretty well and eating up innings. So that's 3 solid starting pitchers at the top of your rotation, a rotation that lost Robbie Ray to Tommy John surgery, and those 3 guys have really picked it up and done what they need to do. The new rookie Bryce Miller is another solid rotation arm who's helped out, and as far as the bullpen, Paul Sewald's been good as the closer, and there are plenty other nice options the Mariners have in their group of relievers. So overall, I mean, this pitching staff has done pretty much everything you could ask for, especially for one that, like I said, lost Robbie Ray and won't have him for the rest of the season. They've done their job, so has the offense done their job? No, absolutely not. And that's where we get to why the 2023 Seattle Mariners, as of right before the All-Star break, are mid. It's an incredibly weak offense. You got to start with J-Rod. Julio Rodriguez, last year's American League Rookie of the Year. Well, he just hasn't hit anywhere near what he did last year. In 2022, he was a really good hitter, especially for it being his first year and all. But in 2023, Julio has still been an above average bat, but for someone who's supposed to be a superstar, barely above average just isn't good enough. I will say I have all the faith in the world that Julio will get it going. He's too good not to. My prediction is that by season's end, his numbers will look a lot better than they do now. As for the rest of the offense, I'm not quite sure that's the case, which is the bigger issue here. One of the offseason acquisitions, Kolten Wong, has been terrible. He's also dealt with some issues with his wrist, but his hitting has been so bad to the point where he's bringing a big negative value to the team. He's hitting 167, has an OPS plus 64 points below league average, as 100 is league average and his is 36. That is so bad. AJ Pollock hasn't really been any better. In fact, he's bringing in negative value as well, hitting 159 with an OPS plus 53 points below league average. Okay, so those are the nightmarish situations. I got those out of the way. The hitters who have just been straight up terrible, and there's no other way around it. As for the rest of the lineup, it's just a ton of mediocrity on top of more mediocrity. Like, for example, Kyle Raleigh, the catcher, the guy you saw in the very first clip of this video hitting the postseason clinching home run last year. He's just been offensively. Very average numbers, nothing abysmal, but not very good at all. Jarred Kelenic was finally having the breakout we've all been hoping and expecting he'd have since his call-up back in 2021. Now, he was not a good hitter at all these last couple of years. He was terrible, just clearly overmatched by big league pitching, but jumped right out of the gate hot in 2023, ready to prove the world he belongs in the big leagues. In the first month of the season, Kelenic hit over 300 with an OPS near 1,000. And I can't emphasize enough how terrible he was in 2021 and 2022. I mean, just nothing encouraging about his bat. So it was really cool and awesome to see him finally crushing the ball to kick off 2023. May wasn't awful, but it was a big downgrade from what he did in April. And then the month of June has just been brutal. In 20 games so far this month, Jarred Kelenic is hitting 174 with an OPS below 600, striking out 30 times in 69 at-bats. A poor May and an awful June has brought Kelenic's overall numbers on the year down. So it may seem like he's doing much better this year, and he was to start, obviously, but with context, it's scary to see him back to hitting what he was prior to this year recently. JP Crawford is what he is at this point in his career. I mean, you can't expect too much from him offensively. He's a career below average major league hitter, but is actually having the best season of his career so far, ironically. The numbers are still relatively mediocre though, so it's not too much of a change. Another newcomer, Teoscar Hernandez, who was awesome with the Blue Jays for the last 3 seasons, hasn't been nearly as bad as some of the other new guys like Wong and Pollock, but Teoscar has definitely dropped off. His numbers, mediocre.